Hi, my name is Kushmala Idris, and today we're going to talk about a really sensitive topic and a concerning issue, especially happening in Pakistan, and that is atheism and the rise of atheism in today's generation. How I get into that is I like to read different sort of articles, books, and podcasts, and lately I have been watching such podcasts in which the debates on God, does the God exist or not, is happening quite casually. So, what shocks me is when I read the comments beneath such videos that people are supporting their doctrine immensely, and that concerns me the most. And when I starts to dig into it, I've read many articles that why atheism is getting so promoted, and I read some of the points, but it didn't make sense to me. But what I read and what I concluded, I'll tell you clearly in this video. Uh, First of all, it is about we need to understand that in today's era, knowledge is very accessible to us. I mean, we are the people, I'm not talking about the previous generation, that this generation, because I am experiencing that, I can tell you that people are getting into things. They want to know things. Okay, so they easily grasp whatever they want to perceive. Back in the era when we want to get into something, we used to study. We used to read books, articles, get into history. We wanted to know what is right and what is wrong. Unlike today. Today we want impulsive answers. Today we want impulsive results. Okay, so we as a human beings, because knowledge is in 30 seconds reel, we want to know everything. And obviously we will accept what would be acceptable to us. We will not get into the stuff that will tell us that what is right and what is wrong. Number 2 point. Islam that has been preached to us and Islam that we are practicing today in Pakistan is day and night. I mean, if we talk about, I'm not talking about namaz, roza, zakat, hajj here as a practicing Muslim. I'm talking about the social, cultural norms that we adopt in our daily life. I'll tell you some examples that we do drugs on daily basis, but we avoid the alcohol. We hate the word LGBTQ, but we clearly declares or judge a woman as a whore when she dressed boldly. Okay, we preach kindness in our Islam, but in reality, when we say thanks to some security guard or some ordinary people working for us, we are told that why are you thanking them? You have paid for your services and goods. You don't need to thank them. Okay, so what we see in society, that we are being preached something else and what we are experiencing is something else. When we want to know something, we have to question, and that is the biggest shortcoming that we are experiencing in Pakistan, that we are not allowed to question. I mean, in our household, you can see if we try to question something, we are being told to shut up. We are not allowed to ask difficult questions in Islam. So what we do is we get lost and astray, and when we find that information that is accessible to everyone, we start accepting that is very acceptable and familiar to our mind. I'll tell you an example on that so that it may be very clear for you now. So recently when I saw in that video, the atheist put the question in front of a Muslim man, that he says that you have to tell me, back in the era of prophets, Allah Ta'ala directly intervened when something is not fine, and he communicated with his selected people. Like he communicated with Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Hazrat Musa Alayhi Salam. So why he is not intervening today when he sees that there is so much harm going on, when there is so much wrongdoings, why is he not intervening today? So as a layman, you are not into Islam, I am not into religion, we will ponder to that question, that why is it this is true? Why, if he is Allah Almighty and we have to obey him, so we will accept that question, that yes, this is wrongdoing, nauzubillah, this is wrong. But if a person is into religion and have his faith, you don't just accept it. You will get into things, and when you dig it, you will understand the answer to this question is that Allah has given the free will to his human being, and he has allowed his people to use the free will to experience his free will so that he can judge you on the day of judgment. If he starts to intervene in everything, the point of making this whole world that he has to pick people on their merit and give them, the afterlife Jannat, it's of no use that he starts to intervene in the stuff. So he has given whole choice to his people to experience the free will. Okay, because back in that time, Allah was giving us his deen. And in his last, Hajj narration, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam completely said that today your deen is, your religion is complete. It's absolute. So now it is on to us that we need to know that what is right and what is wrong, and why Allah Ta'ala is doing something today and has asked us to do something. Why does that make sense? There should not be any ambiguity of it being wrong. We should question it, obviously, but we have to get into things. And for that, you should have the enough level of dopamine. You should have that much of attention span. You should have that much of focus, which all these three things lacks in today's time and era. We are not the person with enough focus, with enough attention span. We need impulsive results. We need quick decisions. We need quick satisfaction. And these questions, this atheism would provide us that. This is the reason that I believe that why atheism is getting so promoted in Pakistan. What we are preached, what we are told, and what we are seeing in the society is completely different. Islam, their version of Islam, they are shoving us into our thoughts, and either we have to swallow it or we'll gag on it. And now people are deciding to gag on it because they don't accept this version of Islam. So it is not the Islam that is the problem here. It is the way we are practicing and that way we are being, told to do so. There should be two solutions to that problem. One, we should be allowed to question whatever we want, whatever we have in our mind and heart. Okay. Number two, the person who is getting into things should have that audacity, the patience to dig into things and find out what is right and what is wrong. Not just you accept what is acceptable to your mind or your sort of story that will give you the instant pleasure or satisfaction. To find out what is right, what is wrong is not an easy job. You need to get into things, figure out, and then you should have your opinion in your mind that either this is right, the question that has been put in front of me, I should get into it. The orators, the atheist orators, they know what they are doing. So you should also know what you should be doing. Thanks.